is a temple. Temples are considered as holy places. And people visit temples to ask for boons that keep them happy. We all prefer and decide to have a happy life. But what is happiness? Some want to have good health, some want to enjoy with friends, some good career growth, some want to be rich, and some want everything that is on the earth. How can we be happy, peaceful, and contented in all aspects of life? This holistic approach can be achieved when we take care of physical, mental, emotional, spiritual, and social well being. Yes, it's very simple if practiced with determination using our Vedathian principles. Our Swamiji has given handful of steps, just 5 steps for each fingers to live a holistic life. Let us listen to this interesting topic now from our professor, whom we all must be knowing very well. Yes, today, on this auspicious day, we are honored to have our Professor Nakiran sir from Chennai, who will be talking on 5 steps for holistic living. To mention about our professor, Professor M. Nakiran sir has pursued his Masters of Engineering and is serving as work education teacher in Kendriya Vidyalaya Sangathan, Chennai for 35 years. In the spiritual path, Sir has done MA Yoga for Human Excellence and Diploma in Siddha Medicines. He is rendering his services as a professor in WCSC Sky System since 2004. Professor Nakiran sir has received the Best Teacher Award by the Ministry of HRD in the year 2005 for teaching yoga for Kendriya Vidyalaya teachers and students. Personally, I was also able to connect to sir during the 1 week Maunam in June 2019. He shared his ocean of knowledge and experience with Swamiji. He's a very simple, easygoing, and a down to earth person. As per my interaction, his language was so simple and easy to understand that my wife, who doesn't know Tamil, could understand his speeches and gain good insight into each topic. It was simply superb. We have such an eminent personality with us tonight. Now I request our senior professor Nakiran sir to conduct the session on the topic 5 steps for holistic living. Be blessed by the divine. Over to you, sir. Sir, Nakiran sir.
Sir, am I audible now?
Yes, you're audible. Please go ahead, sir.
Oh,
Thank you
yes,
very
sir.
much, sir.
Okay. Be blessed by the divine. May the whole world enjoy peace, prosperity, wisdom, and happiness. Be blessed by the divine. By invoking the Sukma presence of Swami Vedatri Maharishi. Dear friends, the aspirants of Swami Vedatri Maharishi, let me discuss the points, the ways and means Swamiji has given to us in 5 steps for a holistic living. So the topic is given by Swamiji in a different version, that is 5 steps for realization of truth. That's a book Swamiji has written. When he introduced the simplified Kundalini Yoga as Manavalakala Yoga, Swami wrote the book, which is in Tamil, வாழ்க்கை வள உயர்நிலை படிகள் 5. He said that the 5 steps to rise, to develop, to nurture in the life, that he later translated as 5 steps for realization of truth. Based on that topic, let me discuss Swamiji's views with you. Thereby, it's the right time that we have to think of Swamiji, the strength that Swamiji has given at this time of pandemic. So I thought it would be apt, and I thank our Zoom program, our coordinators, for the opportunity given to me so that we can discuss and share the experience with Swamiji. There was a youth of around 25-year-old, and he was just walking in the night. And that day happened to be a Friday. After the rain, he was just about to go to a medical shop to buy a medicine. He was just walking with a little bit of speed. Suddenly, that fellow raised his voice, shouted, and jumped and fainted. So further, no walking was seen. The neighbors got shocked. There was an elderly person from the neighborhood. He just walked closer to the boy, lifted the boy, and asked what happened. He said that you look there. There was a snake I could see just crossing. Seeing that, I fainted, he said. Yes, then the old man was also looking through the darkness. He said, yes, there is something lying. Maybe it may be a snake or rope. We don't know. We have to find it out. But no, this boy said, unless someone kills that snake, I cannot cross there. I cannot go to the medical shop. No, it is not that way. Today being a Friday, nobody will be ready to beat that snake. That was the answer, because there's a notion always on Friday, people will not beat this snake. It is the development of the human being. That's what Swamiji says that. In the evaluation theory, to become a human being itself is a very first step. The very first step to become a human being, because there are many species available in the world, and we are in the form of a human being. That itself is the first step. But there are so many steps to cross over, but where we have not realized it. So now the elderly person says that we have to clear this doubt and clear the snake in 5 steps approach, he said. The first step is, first you should be physically fit enough. If it is a snake, we must run away from there, for which you should keep your body physically fit. Whether you are hit somewhere, your legs are okay, you can walk or run, check yourself, he said. The boy said, no, I am all right. Then second thing, we should have a courage. If at all it is a snake, having seen, you should not faint nearby that, then it will hit you. So you must have a courage to run. So mentally you must be fit enough to go nearby and search for it, understand it. Okay. Then thirdly, we need supportive persons. Without them, we should not go. All alone, single, we cannot go. We need some stick and all. So to prevent that snake falling on us, so we need a support of people. That is the third thing. Then fourth approach is that we should think, in case it is a snake, we should drive away from the road. We should not kill it, because if we kill, then there will be a sin imprint. That too on Friday, that was caution he was telling. The cause and effect and sin imprints that we may get it. Then the fifth step is, we need a powerful torch to first flash on it. Having gone nearby, we need a powerful torch to flash on it. Having flashed it, we have to confirm whether it is a snake or a rope or the water pipe, a piece of water pipe, or the cycle tire. Something would have been there. These all are having the same rope shape. Yes. So we need a light to be flashed on there. So with this 5-step approach, we can avert the fear, first of all, from ourselves, he said. When the story was referred to Swamiji said, yes, for the life, people are fearing, people are worried. For that also, I have given only 5 steps, he says. It is something similar to that, he said. The first thing is that you should be physically fit enough to approach near the snake. Yes, to face the life, to live the life, we need to be physically fit. The physical fitness is the first prime requirement to live in the world from birth to death. So we need to take care of the body, and we should realize that it is our responsibility to maintain our body. That is the first requirement, first step that we are supposed to take up for the peaceful life. The second one is, he says that we should have a mental courage. That was for the snake. But now, Swamiji says, to face the life, we should have the mental courage. And what is the step required for it? So the mental courage we need, and for which there are steps. Our ancestors found it. They lived 100, 120 years. The present day now, someone was in a sweet stall owner was tested positive for the COVID-19. Having heard it that night, he jumped over from the stairs from the third floor and died, committed suicide. But a 90-year-old person got admitted. He was treated successfully. He was given bouquet, sweets, and the doctors were taking photo along with him, and he was given farewell from the hospital to go home at the age of 90. So when at the age of 90 a person is having courage, at the age of 40 a fellow is jumping over, it means that mental courage is not there. So intellectual efficiency is the prime requirement for a peaceful living, a harmonious living, a holistic living. That's what Swamiji says. That is the second step. The third step, the elderly person says that we need some more persons to support us, to go near that and find out whether it is a snake. Yes, to live the life, we need the harmonious relationship with the fellow being. It may be your wife, it may be your son, it may be your daughter, father-in-law, mother-in-law. In the office, there may be boss, subordinates. Everybody, we need a mental, a peaceful coexistence. A harmonious relationship is required. So a kind of friendship is needed. That is called social health in another way, in the health point of view. Swamiji says, yes, harmonious relationship is the third step towards the life. Then the fourth one is that elderly person says, today being Friday, we must be careful. Nobody will be ready to kill a snake, because Friday is the day where the earth is able to receive more rays from the Shukra. That is, the planet is very well related with our sexual vital fluid, and it is very well related with the Kundalini Shakti. It will rise it. So when it rises, and the power will be more. Usually snake will have more power. So that is why our ancestors understood on Friday, they should not hit the snake. Now he is telling, if you hit with all these supportive people, it will cause a sin imprint, because it has the right to live. We have the right to live. It has somehow crossed the road. We can drive it away, but it is not, killing is not good. So the sin imprint, Swamiji says that for all these struggles and sufferings of the mankind, it is the imprints that is stored in the genetic center. So one must concentrate and take effort to purify the genetic center. That is the fourth step. So if you purify the genetic center, certainly you'll be able to live peacefully. The fifth one is, we were not really knowing whether it is a snake or a rope. Once if you flash a light on it and understand if it is a snake, you can drive away. If it is a rope, you can ignore. Then you will have a peace of mind. Till then the fear persists. Same way in the life. We are not knowing that what is real. What is real? The reality is not known, whether it is a snake or it is a rope. Same way in the life, we are not knowing the reality. Understanding the real thing is called realization. Who am I really? Really, who am I? If I don't know, then I would struggle. Same way, if I don't know who is the person standing before me, what is this world? The objective world, the objects, whether it is real or unreal. So whatever we see in the objective form are not real. That is a subject that we should understand. So when you realize the truth, then the fear will get nullified, as if you focus the light on it. So the throwing the light on the life is done by Guru. So if you get a guiding light as a Guru who has realized himself, who has understood what is he, and who has understood the life, who has understood the world, if such a person is able to guide us, and if we stick on to his guidance, certainly we will be trouble free. Mentally, we will be free and we will be peaceful. So the guiding light we should have, right? We should thank God or our ancestors, your parents, grandparents. They have made continuous effort to have prayed for a guru. And luckily, we have got Swami Vedatri Maharishi as our guru, who is a realized soul, who merged with the One, merged with the Almighty, and able to realize and reveal it to us and practice us and help us to realize ourselves, realize the truth. So the realization of the truth is the fifth step. Having raised these 5 steps, you are not supposed to fall down. That is the caution Swamiji says. You have to maintain in the higher level, where if you maintain the higher level, you can lift them, the people who are suffering at the lower level. From there, we can lift them up. It is not that we will ask them to rise the step by step. It is just lifting. As Swamiji says that, I have lifted you on my shoulder. From there, we are supposed to look the world, look the life, look the problem of this and help the people. That's what Swamiji has given. It's a great commitment for us. It's a great commitment and we are supposed to follow this. So Swamiji has given 5 steps. As finally the elderly person having courage, gathered people with them, with the support, with the caution, they flashed the light and found that it was just a water tube. A piece of water tube was lying there. It is not at all a snake. So when it is not a snake, what the youth would have felt it. Now he would have got relieved. Same way, today this pandemic, the economic crisis, the job opportunities, the health conditions, the sudden demise of unexpected relatives, kith or kin, this all made the life very dark, the future of the life very dark for the people, the society. So when you hear that in America or any other country, many people passed away due to the COVID, then it is certainly a shocking news. We need people to be around us. Without people only, we can live in harmony and with the support of others, our life will be very comfortable. So Swamiji says that there are 5 steps, clear steps are there to live peacefully. With that, we can live. But people believe that. We have studied, we have gathered wealth. By wealth, by money, we can buy peace. That's what people think. It is very difficult. It is very difficult to live with money alone. With money alone, if you want to live, then definitely you will be struggling. Nobody can help you. With your qualifications, with your power, if you believe that you can live in peace, again it is a problem. We need qualification, we need money, we need power. These all will support our living. It will all help our living comfortable. But at the same time, with this acquired wealth, we must be able to support others. When we support others, definitely the world will support us, then the living will be very, very helpful. So this is what Swamiji has found out, having realized the reality. So realization is nothing but understanding what is real. As the elderly person guided was the boy to understand what is really lying in the darkness. The really lying in the darkness was a water tube, and it's not a snake. Same way, the life, whatever that we have a fear, we have a doubt, these are all not there. It's not real. The reality is something that it will make you to understand the very consciousness, which is considered to be the God, is you. When you realize that I am the consciousness, God, then there will be a fulfillment, there will be a contentment, there will be a peace of mind. And if you keep remembering this, and if you go as per the guidance of Swamiji, having realized the path, as you have just now completed the divine state meditation, if you are able to continue in this state, definitely the people will see you as God, because you will be only helping others, and you will see that society helps you. To realizing the truth, one must need to concentrate on the life force, because life force is real. It is not unreal. Life force is real, which is in the body. As long as the life force is existing in the body, we will be alive. Once it goes away from the body, then the body will get decomposed. So that is if you you want to realize what is real, the best method is to realize the life force within our body, for which we need Kundalini Yoga. Having given Kundalini Yoga, having got the Kundalini Yoga from Swamiji, if we further suffer, then Swamiji says that that is due to the purification of genetic center. To what extent we are taking effort to purify the genetic center, that will help us to be in the divine state. And for which the purification of genetic center, we need the support, we need to work the platform. The platform is the society, the family, the country, the world. So we need the platform to purify our genetic center. And for that, we need to introspect. So we need a sound mind to introspect. To have a sound mind, we need meditation. And we have to practice meditation. And to do all those things, we need a physical body. The physical body is the essential one by which we are identified. So Swamiji says that for a holistic living, there are 5 steps. The first step is to realize that I am in the human body. I am so and so. I am existing in the human body, which is given by the very nature to me. It is the nature which has given me the human body. And having got this human body, it is my responsibility to maintain the human body. Having got this human body, I must maintain it. It is my own responsibility. So that is the first step. Then now you can think that you can thank God, you can thank Almighty that I am a human being, I have got the human body. First step. Second step, in the human body, I have a mind, which is a special thing compared to the other living being. Swamiji says that the objects which are in the world, we can divide it into 2 categories. One is animate, the other one is inanimate. Animate and inanimate. So when you see animate, that has the feelings. All the living beings, the species have got a feeling. The plants have got 1 sense, the touch sense. The worms have got 2 sense, the touch sense and the taste. The ant has got 3 sense, the smell. So like that, the evaluation, the process, up to the animal, they have 5 sense. The human being has got the 6th sense. So with the 5 sense, all the living beings have 3 things, that is experience, then perception. It can perceive the things through the senses. So the perception is there. The cognition, the experience, and the discrimination. These 3 things are possible by the perceptual ability that the living being have got it. This is because of the mind. The mind. So the 5 sense animal, they have got this ability. But human being has got an extraordinary sense called the 6th sense. So having got the 6th sense, he can understand, he can experience, he can discriminate, he can cognize, he can understand, perceive things. But beyond that, he can analyze, he can take decisions, he can guide others to follow based on the decisions, he can give results. These are the extraordinary perception that he has. But with that, he can nullify the sufferings, because all other living beings can experience two things with the mind. One is called pain, the other one is the pleasure. Pain or pleasure. So we are also having in this state, enjoying only the pain or pleasure means there is no difference between the animal and ourselves. The five sense animal and ourselves, we have to discriminate it. That is through the sixth sense. So that should lead us to peace and ecstasy. That's what Swamiji says. There are two more feelings that a human being can experience. That is called peace and ecstasy. So the peace and ecstasy is taken care by the biomagnetic level which is available in the body. Now today the scientists say that the immunization level only takes care of the pandemic. But Swamiji says that it is not only takes care of the physical body, physical health, it takes care of the mental health. It takes care of you to be in the ecstatic state, for which you need the biomagnetism. But the biomagnetic level, the biomagnetic circulation is only for the expenditure, the income and the expenditures are equal, then you will be in the peace. That's all. But if it is excess and you spend it, you get pressure. If the biomagnetic level is not enough, sufficient in the quantity to maintain the physical runout of the body, then you get pain. If the biomagnetic level gets short-circuited, then it will cause pain, then disease, later it will develop into death. And no, the biomagnetic level is maintaining for the peace, and it is stored, it helps you to expand up to the universe. It can make your mind very calm and mindlessness and merge with the universal consciousness means it is ecstasy, because you will be in everlasting peace. If you are in everlasting peace, it is called ecstasy. It is not that only at the meditation that you will be in ecstatic state. After the meditation, when you are in the opening of your eye in the day-to-day life, you will be very humorous, you will be always comfortable, you will be able to receive anything with a positive attitude and no shivering. You will be able to guide. That state is called ecstatic state. Swamiji used to be always in the ecstatic state only. One day when he was brought to the stage in the hall here, and he was to give a speech, they asked, Swamiji, can you give the speech for 20 minutes? Swamiji asked, what is the topic? So the professors around, how can they say to topic to Swamiji? They were just looking at each other. Swamiji understood that they are confused. They are now not able to say a topic. Don't worry, you can give any topic, because I know only 4 things. Any topic you give, I will come bring it to that 4 things and talk, he said. So what are the 4 things? He says that it is that life force. It is the life force. Then it is the mind. It is a consciousness. The 4th one is nothing but the biomagnetism and universal magnetism, or the God. That's all he says. The God in its functional order is called magnetism. And the life force, which is circulating in your body, which is the cause for the biomagnetism within your body. And outside, the Akash is revolving. That is the cause for the universal magnetism. There is a link between the biomagnetism and the universal magnetism. And with this, there functions the God as consciousness. So the consciousness is one thing which is not seen. the God or the magnetism is not seen. The third one is the life force which is circulating in our body is not seen. These three are unseen. That is why all confusions comes. So that I can explain all these three things. Whatever the topic you give, I will speak only on these three things because I know only these three things. But we know that Swamiji was telling and everybody was laughing because beyond these three things, nothing is there in the world. Only these three things. Whatever we see, this object and all, it is the concentration of the biomagnetic waves. That is why after some time it vanishes. So all objects are subject to change and all objects are not real. The real thing is the consciousness, the force, the constant pressure that every object experiences. That is the gravity is God. That's what Swamiji says. So the gravity is ultimate everything and the gravity is God. So I know these three things only and I explain to you. And to realize that gravity or the magnetic field, one has to meditate, for which he needs his mind. Yes, I should lead a comfortable, peaceful life, harmonious life, for which I should meditate, I should introspect, for which the prime requirement is the mind. And that is decided by my intellectual efficiency. So that is the second step. And the third step, Swamiji says that with this, I should have a harmonious living with my family, with my society. And the fourth step that I suffer is due to the sin imprints and other things, which my genetic center got polluted. So the purification of the genetic center, while I am living, if I make efforts constantly on purification of the genetic center, and at the same time, if I am cautious that no further sinful imprints are stored in my genetic center, then my life will be very, very comfortable and peaceful. The fifth one is I should realize the God. Having realized it, I should be in the realized state. That's all Swamiji says. And he has given ways and means for it. And that is why we are going to refer, once again, recall the 5 steps. 5 steps Swamiji has given, very simple in nutshell. If at all time permits, you have to buy a book and read 5 steps for realization of truth, where he starts with the physical body. And the physical body is the one which gives our existence. You are proven that you are there, you are existing only by the appearance of the physical body. Whereas the physical body is maintained, it is a 5 elements which are in a harmonious proportions. The 5 elements are taken care by food for the physical structure. The food, 5 elements, the solid is the food which we are taking. Then water, we are consuming the water. Then air, we are breathing in and breathing out. The warmness that we get from the earth, it is maintained as temperature in the body. We get warmness. Then the Akash particle, which is nothing but the life force particles are circulating in the body. And we have got the 5 centers in our body to receive these 5 elements, to evacuate these 5 elements when it is excess. Swamiji says that if you have observed the body, the structure the God has designed, which nobody else can design, is based on the gravitational pull. The gravity, based on the gravity, he says that. The food waste, it is a solid. When you put the food through your mouth, it is having the weight due to the gravitational pull. It is absorbed. It is attracted towards the stomach. It goes down. In the stomach, it's all get digested and nutrition is absorbed. The waste is evacuated through the anus portion, solid, which has the weight more. So the anus portion at the lowermost of the body, because it's a gravity. Then lighter than the solid is the water. So the water goes through the urinal path, which is just above the anus, which is just above the anus. Then goes the stomach, the heat. The Manipuraka chakra is the center for the heat. The heat evacuates throughout the body and the skin is there. Then comes the lighter one is the air, the fourth element that we are breathing through your mouth and nose. It is on the top, the height. Then comes the Vishuddhi chakra and the crown chakra for the life force. The life force goes more through your eye. The life force you can experience at the crown chakra. When you come to the crown chakra and do the Turiya meditation, whatever the life force requirement is just poured down from the cosmic waves. That is what our ancestors found it. So the body is based on the gravity, the gravitational pull, and the gravitational center for the body is called the genetic center. So whatever that object in the world, each object right from the living being to the planets, sun, moon, earth, all are revolved, maintained by its own center called gravity. So the objects, the planets are maintained by the gravity at the center, and the living being are maintained by the gravity at the genetic center. So there is a constant link between these two centers. But we have not realized this thing. The modern science, the so-called science, has not realized this fact. Because of that, we enjoy the sensual pleasures without knowing whatever we think, whatever we do, whatever we enjoy through the senses. These all got a reflection in two things. First, these things are the creating vibrations, reflections in the magnetic field. Magnetic field within the body is called a biomagnetic field. Magnetic field beyond this body is called universal field. So it has the reflection. So what it will do, it is the genetic center will attract whatever is there, whatever you enjoy, whatever you experience. All those things are attracted and then stored in the genetic center. And at the time comes, it is reflected from the genetic center. So the repulsion and attraction are the constant function of the genetic center. So, which we forget it. We are not conscious of it. Whereas rishis, mahans, maharishis are very conscious of it because they have understood this genetic center, but they were not able to reveal it properly. So they said that a code of contact called sin and virtues. But Swamiji, as having realized it, he has given cause and effect theory, sin and sin imprints, how to eradicate it. He has given a karma yoga practices. Thereby one can purify the genetic center. Also he says that what is getting stored, what is the reason for the genetic center get polluted, and for which he has given the 5 moderation in the 5 aspects: food, rest, then sleep, food, work, rest, then sexual gratification, and the thought process. We need to have moderation in the 5 aspects. If you are able to do it, your genetic center will not get further polluted. And you have to have modernization of desire. If you are not going to moralize your desire, it will pollute. Then your thought, word, and deed should be proper. If you are not able to check these things and towards the good thing, it will again pollute your genetic center. Then, if you are hurting others, other living beings, directly or indirectly, by your words or by your deeds, even by your thoughts, if you hurt them, that will definitely pollute your genetic center. Then, if you are lying, that will again pollute your genetic center. So you are not supposed to disturb others. We should not grab the wealth of others. Others' work. We should live on your own. Swamiji has given five-fold principle, simple two-fold principle. And for the world, he has given 14-fold principles as Vedatriya. So if you are able to realize these four principles, and if you are able to stick on to the principle, yes, sure, the genetic center will get purified. The genetic center will not attract other sin imprints. Then definitely it will develop, it will give you a kind of good thoughts, a pleasure feeling, an ecstasy, a peaceful mind, a peace of mind. When you have a peace of mind, you will be able to spread the peace within your family, in the office, in the society, and to the world. And that is possible only by taking constant effort to purify the genetic center, to have a constant vigil on the genetic center, my word, my thought, my action, how it would affect my genetic center. I must be conscious of it. If I am constantly conscious of it, yes, ecstasy will be the result from the genetic center. And that is possible by realization of the truth. Unless we know, we throw the light on it and found that it is not a snake, you cannot have a peace of mind. Same way in the life, when there is a problems comes and all, when there is some threat comes, when there is an enemy emerge out, if we are peacefully looking for that, what is the cause for it, how to nullify it, that can be done, analyzed when you are in a realized state. When you are in the realized state only, you will be able to analyze it. When you are in a temperamental state, your reaction will cause further trouble only. And that is why Swamiji says that realization is the ultimate goal of life. Having realized it, you must be stick on to that state. You have to maintain that state. If you come down from the step, then nobody can lift you. Guru has lifted you from the Mooladhara to the crown chakra. You can come down with a very caution that without losing your power. Swamiji says that you have joined an office like an attendant, a record clerk, but now you have become a superintendent. You are the authority, you are an administrative officer now. Now you can come and check whether the attendant is doing his work properly or not. But you are not expected to do the attendant job as you have done when you joined the work. Now you have to do administrative work. You have to guide the attendant to rise to your level. You can encourage, you can motivate, but you should not come down to that level. As an attendant, you can talk rubbish words. Nobody would bother. Yes, he's supposed to that much. As an administrative officer, you cannot talk rubbish words. Your words must be polite. You should be eloquent. You should be soft. You should be problem-solving approach you should have. So you have got certain qualities required. So the realized persons as Brahmaඥanis are supposed to be in a higher state. And whether you are in the family, whether within your society, whether you are in your office, whether you are alone, you should be grateful to Swamiji that he has lifted you from an ordinary person to Brahmaඥani, from an ordinary person to Arulnidhi. With that realized state, we must be able to look the world, look the problems. When you do so, certainly you will be in the peace. You will be in the ecstatic state. So the physical body is the first step. To maintain it, Swamiji says that the blood, heat, air circulation should be maintained. It must be at ease. If it is not at ease, it is called a disease. So for which Swamiji has given the physical exercise. And to strengthen the life force, he has given Kaya Kalpa. That is the first step. The second step is an intellectual efficiency. We have to rise it because our mind is the cause for pain, to feel the pain, because the coma stage, nobody feels pain. So it is the mind that feels the pain. So the mind level is raised, you can alleviate the pain. So pain, then the pleasure, the peace, and ecstasy. It is based on your intellectual efficiency. To raise the intellectual efficiency, we should concentrate on meditation. By having practiced the meditation, we can keep our mental frequency below 14 always. When we are always below 14 and closer to the divine frequency, say about 1 to 3 in the delta, if you are like Swamiji, yes, ecstasy will be always with us. So we have to constantly practice it. Not only when you are doing meditation, after the meditation also, we should be in the realized state, not in the temperamental state. Then comes, we should maintain a harmonious relationship with the family, friends, and the world, for which service motto is the best thing. If you expect something from the people, you will be deprived, you will be disturbed. But if you can give something, good words, good service, good advice, good help by your earnings, definitely society wants it, your knowledge. So service is the best thing for which Swamiji has given Karma Yoga practice. Then we must have a constant vigil on the cause and effect system and keep purifying the genetic center by taking care of our temperaments, our thoughts, our moderation in 5 aspects. So definitely moralization of desire, eradication of worries, then neutralization of anger, and then realizing who am I. If you take that, I think earlier I told you, if you take from introspection, I, then analysis of thought, A, then moralization of desire, M, the first letter, then neutralization of anger, N, eradication of worry, E, then finally, who am I? If you write that 5 introspection topics, the first letter, if you take it, it will give you I am new. Definitely, it has raised you from the ordinary level of human being to a realized soul, which is a divine being. It's not human being. When you realize the truth, you are not no more a human being. You are called a divine being. So Swamiji has raised, given the 5 steps for us to rise from an ordinary living being to a human being, from a human being to a divine being. That is the Brahmajnani. That is the ultimate goal of the life. If you are able to rise it, constantly introspect it, and keep changing it, and finally you will be able to merge with the Swamiji, because Swamiji already merged with the divine. So his consciousness has to merge with our consciousness. When we do it, when we exhibit the qualities of Swamiji, definitely the peace and ecstasy will be our source of life and our source of experience. That will definitely give you a holistic living where the life will be fruitful, for which only Swamiji has trained us, helped us, wished the whole world should enjoy that. So we have to experience it, enjoy it. By seeing that we are in this state, people should try to follow us. Thereby they will ask, can I join this yoga? Can you help me to, can you guide me? Such a way only we can guide others. Thereby we can spread this peace to the world. Then the world will also enjoy peace. And for which our thought force will be a very, very motivating force, for which our thought can be shaped by bringing it below 14 by a constant meditation. Now, I think Swamiji has given a concrete steps, 5 steps, which will definitely make us a realized soul, where he said that Swamiji says that realization is something different from wisdom, because wisdom is nothing but what is the taste of sugar. If you ask, anybody can say it is sweet, but in no way it is going to affect your blood sugar level if you say 5 kg sweet or 1000 kg sugar. If you write or if you talk on sugar, nothing will happen. But if you take half a teaspoon sugar and put it in your mouth and taste it, once you have tasted, sugar will be not there. Sugar will be just dissolving in your saliva, with your saliva. And after 1 minute or 2 minutes, if you open your mouth, sugar will not be there. But the quality of the sugar will be there in your blood as a raised blood sugar level. You can see. So now sugar has merged with you and changed to yours quality, but changed like you, but the quality of the sugar is there in your blood. Same way, when you realize the God, when you realize the God, God will not be there, but God quality will be raised in you, and you will be exhibiting the quality of the God. The quality of the God is nothing but love and compassion and contentment. So love and compassion, if you are able to spread, you are exhibiting the quality of the God. Thereby you become a realized soul. That is what Swamiji said, that unless we convert the person to divine, it is very difficult to get individual peace, family peace, and world peace. So our aim is to make ourselves first divine by realizing the truth, the divine, then exhibiting the quality of the divine. We have to spread it to the family, spread it to the society, spread it to the world. So for which I thank Swamiji for having given us the concrete steps. I also thank the WCSC, the RER, for having taken the efforts of Swamiji and spread all over the world, and constantly the professors, the Arunidhis, and other technical persons are even now spreading it through online, the Zoom. Their efforts are all with the Swamiji, and Swamiji's blessings all will be with them. With that, having listened, spared your valuable time for this 5 steps for holistic living, I take this opportunity to thank one and all, and wish you all, with the blessings of Swamiji and the Almighty, to enjoy good health, long life, peace, prosperity, wisdom, and happiness. Be blessed by the divine. Be blessed by the divine. Be blessed by the divine. Thank you.
Be blessed by the divine. Thank you very much, sir, for the excellent and mind-capturing speech. You have beautifully explained about the holistic approach through a story. The story of a youth of 25 years old and to become a human being, and what are the five steps approach to handle this situation, and neatly connected with the Swamiji's 5 principles of having the being physically fit, doing meditation for the mental courage, having service motto to have a harmonious relationship with the society, purifying the genetic center to remove the sin imprints, and realization of the truth. And you have been neatly step by step connected to realize God, so that the God's quality will be in us. Have love and compassion, which is very important. So it was very nicely covering all these topics of Swamiji's principles, and the 5-step approach for a holistic life living. So thank you very much, sir. Now the
Welcome.
forum is open for discussion. And if you have any questions, please click on the raise button in your Zoom app to ask your questions. While we get ready for the questions, we have some important announcements. You know, enhancing immunity is the need of the hour now. We need to fight against COVID. Practice Kayakalpa regularly, which helps to improve your immunity system. If not learn Kayakalpa, please visit kayakalpayoga.edu.in and download the Android app. You can even recommend it to your friends and relatives. Yes, just now we have seen we have a harmonious relationship and try to help others, have a service motto, and this is also one of the instance. WCSC Wisdom is conducting, Vision for Wisdom is conducting an online foundation courses and certificate courses in English, Tamil, and Kannada. Please visit kundaliniyoga.udo.in for further details. You can refer your friends and relatives to join this course and let they also be benefited with our Guru's yogic techniques. Our monthly journal, Unboli, is also available in Android app. Please download the Android app from the Android Play Store. You can have access to the permanent content of Swamiji's speeches. Please connect with us on Facebook and YouTube at Sky Yoga TV to listen to all these past speeches of our professors on various aspects of Sky Yoga. Karma Yoga principles of Vedatriyam suggest donating 1% of income to the good cause of the society. Be generous and donate to the World Community Service Center. There are multiple ways to do that. You can use the Android Unboli app or our official website vedatri.edu.in. Just to mention, you'll also get a ITGIT exemption for the donations provided. Now let us go to the question answers. Please use the hand raise button. And yes, we have Mr. Raja Raman sir. Please unmute yourself and you can ask your question, sir. Yes, thank you.
Yes. Be blessed, be divine.
Yes, sir. Please go ahead, sir.
Yes.
Very-
I am from Chennai. My name is Rajaraman. Thank you, sir, Sai Nakiran, sir. You have given very wonderful speech on 5 steps of holistic living. In this connection, I would like to ask few questions, sir.
Sir,
First, I want to know what do you mean by holistic? It is a holy or holistic? What I mean, my doubt is, holistic living means living a pious life or living in accordance with the law of nature. Please explain that.
okay. Pious life only. The pious life is possible only with love and compassion. Otherwise, it will be a selfish life where you will have a lot of depression and temperaments. So holistic means you have to maintain harmony between yourself, your body, your mind, your life force. At the same time, you should maintain harmony between your family members, with your society, with your nature. This, if you are able to do it, then you will be able to express only love and compassion. No anger, no jealous, no say temperamental feelings, other things will not be there. That is called holistic living.
Okay, okay. Next question is, out of 5 steps, step number 4, I noted, imprints and planet effects. You said that no killing of snake on Fridays. Please explain what will happen.
The problem is that they know if they kill the snake on that day, the snake may overpower because snake will have more vigor on Friday especially. This was their findings. Because it receives more, generally we get more rays from Shukra, that is the planet, what we call it as, yes, it is Venus, sorry, Jupiter, for the Friday, that is, yeah, it is Jupiter, I think. We are getting more rays from that. That is directly connected with the sexual vital fluid. So sexual vital fluid will have a lot of enrichment. Even those days, the ladies will have head bath and keep the body cool to receive that. And these snakes also receive this energy. So that day they will be a bit more cautious. That is what.
Okay, sir. Finally, I have to appreciate for you that you have given a new acronym. I am new, emphasizing
yes,
the
yeah.
it's what is called Maharishi's principle, 5 principles.
Introspection. Yeah.
Yes. Very beautiful acronym, sir. Thank you, sir. Hats off. Be blessed, be divine.
Thank you.
Thank
you.
Thank you very much, Rajaraman sir. Any other questions? Please use your raise hand button in the Zoom app. Okay. So looks like there are no more questions and people are... Okay, so can we conclude?
Yes,
okay.
sir.
Thank you very much, sir, for patiently answering the questions and sharing your insights and the divine thoughts. It's time for us to express our gratitude. Let's all come into the Turiya state. Let's bless Professor Uma Srikant Madam, who conducted the meditation. Professor Uma Srikant Madam, be blessed by the divine. Be blessed by the divine. Be blessed by the divine. Her good health, be blessed. Be blessed. Be blessed. Her loving family, be blessed. Be blessed. Be blessed. Her divine service, be blessed. Be blessed. Be blessed. Let us bless our Professor Nakiran sir. Professor Nakiran sir, be blessed by the divine. Be blessed by the divine. Be blessed by the divine. His good health, be blessed. Be blessed. Be blessed. His loving family, be blessed. Be blessed. Be blessed. His divine service, be blessed. Be blessed. Be blessed. So thank you very much, sir, for your wonderful speech. Please keep enlightening us with these wonderful topics from time to time. We would like to extend our blessings to the Sky Meditators for their kind donations yesterday. Your generous donations will help us a lot to serve the society. By the grace of the divine, may you and your family enjoy good health, long life, enough wealth, prosperity, wisdom, and peace. Be blessed by the divine. We are happy to announce the following online programs from Alia Temple of Consciousness tomorrow. In the morning, early morning, 5:25 a.m., 9th Center Meditation conducted by Trichy Zone along with WCSC Alia ITT. At 11 a.m., we have a speech in Tamil on the topic Vidu Peru, that is pronunciation, by Professor Sharma Selvaraj. In the evening at 5:45 p.m., we have a meditation conducted by Tirchi Zone along with the Alia IT team. And 6 p.m. is the retelecast of the morning speech. At 7:30 p.m., we'll be having Turyatita meditation in Malayalam by Professor A. Dominic from Alapula. And at 8 p.m., speech in Malayalam on the topic Who Am I by Assistant Professor Ceci Rupan from Saudi. Please share this program invite with your friends and relatives. Let everyone take part in this spiritual journey and get benefited. We thank our beloved President, Arulnidhi Padma Shri S.K.M. Mailanandam sir, for his leadership, continuous support and guidance. Looking forward to see you all tomorrow. Till then, stay safe and practice our Kundalini Yoga. This is Shashi Prasad from Alia World Community Service Center IT team. Be blessed by the divine. Let us now conclude the session with the world blessing. May the world be blessed with plenty of rain. The farmers work to produce an abundance of grain. Let practitioners of all prosper, flourish and grow, and culture progress through the need to share and grow. Let the rulers be beyond feelings of anger or fear, illiteracy, poverty, and all evils made to disappear. Let the true lamp of knowledge burn steady and bright. Our sense of duty guide us along pathways always right. Be blessed by the divine. Be blessed by the divine. Be blessed by the divine. Good night, everybody.
Be blessed by them. Thank you.